Hi folks, and thanks for stopping by Hemingway's Tractor. This is Mark. I just got finished with a doctor's appointment. I've got another appointment here in a couple of hours, so I thought I'd take this time and talk a little bit about doctors with MS. Not doctors with MS, but going to your doctor when you have MS. It's my firm belief that everybody with MS needs to have a team of doctors. It's not good enough just to have your general practitioner treating you for MS. No matter how good they may be, they don't have the time to keep up with everything that is advancing as quickly as it is in the field of multiple sclerosis. Take for instance, 30 years ago, there were no treatments for MS outside of steroids. Since then, there have been over 12 new therapies. When I was diagnosed in 2003, there were 4 therapies, what they called the crab drugs, Copaxone, Rebif, Avonex, and Betaseron. Since then, there have been many more. I participated in a drug study for fingolimod, which goes by the brand name Gilenya now, which was the first oral medication for MS. And those of you who are needle phobic, you're welcome. I was happy to do that study. Unfortunately for me, it was not something that slowed the progression of my disease down, and I moved on to another treatment. Now, I'd like to preface everything I say. This is not medical advice. What I'm offering you is medical education. I'm giving you examples of things that have happened with me, things that I've researched, things that I have anecdotal evidence from friends with MS, but none of this should be construed as medical advice. Anything that you do, you need to research on your own with your doctor, with your neurologist, and find the best treatment that is available for your individual needs. Now, one of the things that I would like to say is that you should not settle for whoever you go to the first time about your multiple sclerosis. I had 4 different neurologists the first year after my diagnosis. The first doctor was an MS specialist. I went to him and he said, yes, it appears that from what you're describing, there's a good chance that you have MS. We'll do some testing and then we'll review it. So we did a MRI, both brain and spinal cord, did a lumbar puncture, also known as a spinal tap, and I waited. About a week later, I get this message on my home answering machine that, yes, you have MS. So my opinion is a doctor who can't be bothered to leave a message saying, hey, please call me or come into the office, we should have a discussion, but instead just says, yeah, you have MS, leaves one of the biggest bits of news that you may receive in your life on an answering machine, was not a doctor that I wanted to continue with. So I moved on to doctor number 2, also an MS specialist. This doctor, you were allowed 15 minutes for an appointment. You could ask 3 questions, and that was it. And basically anything that I said, he was like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. It's like, okay, well, I haven't seen it before. This is all new to me, and it's a little bit frightening. So after a couple of visits with him, I decided he wasn't a good fit, and I moved on to doctor number 3. Now, doctor number 3, while also a neurologist and supposedly an MS specialist, I don't believe graduated at the top of his class, or even anywhere near the top of his class. One of the biggest issues that I have with MS is pain, and I had been prescribed Neurontin, which is a pain medication for nerve damage, and my prescription had expired. I needed another prescription, and he was like, no, here, try this, and it was some kind of drug sample from a drug rep, and he gave it to me. It didn't work. Went back to him, said, look, I need a refill of my Neurontin prescription. No, here, try this one. Gave me something else. Again, didn't work. I did a little research into the good doctor and found out that he was no longer allowed to prescribe medications because he had apparently been prescribing to himself. So that was the end of doctor number 3. Doctor number 4, also an MS specialist, also a doctor who performs quite a few drug studies, trials. I was with her for 9 years, and I liked her very much. I participated in 2 separate drug studies, again, one of those, the fingolimod, and thought the world of her. And I thought she was a very good doctor, but her practice outgrew me. It became more and more frequent where I would see the physician's assistant instead of the physician herself. And I felt that I, or in this case my insurance company, was paying good money for me to see the doctor, not have her assistant ask me some questions, then relay that to her, and she might follow up with me or not. So I moved on to my 5th and current neurologist, also an MS specialist, also does drug study. She was one of the primary investigators into Lemtrada back when it was known as Campath, and I think she's a wonderful doctor. We get along very well. I see her every time I go in for an appointment, and everything's working great. But this is just an example of how you shouldn't settle for the first doctor you see. If the first doctor you see is a good fit for you, and things work out, that's great. Stick with them. But again, I encourage you wholeheartedly, if you're going to have a doctor for MS, it should be a neurologist. Now, do you need a general practitioner? Yes. I mean, because MS doesn't make you invincible to anything else. You're still susceptible to other things. For example, this morning I was at the dermatologist and had a couple of spots frozen on my face and another one biopsied on my back because I have had skin cancer in the past. Is this MS related? It may be. Several of the drugs that I have been on have advised being checked frequently for skin abnormalities, including Lemtrada, the last drug that I took. And I have had skin cancer removed 3 or 4 times so far and will continue. Again, is it related to MS? It may be because of the drugs, but also could be due to my pasty white Northern European skin and living in Texas. The two are not a good combination when it comes to skin cancer. So take that as you will. Again, this is not medical advice, it's medical education, but have more than one doctor. I have a cardiologist, a dermatologist, a neurologist, an ophthalmologist, a urologist. Fortunately, so far I haven't had to have a pathologist. I'm sure that'll come up sometime in the future. But you need a team. You need more than one doctor to make sure that your health is the best that it can be. And seeing a MS specialist, neurologist, is going to give you the newest information available for the medications that are available to treat you. And again, as in my case, if you start a treatment, you're on it for a while, and your disease continues to progress, don't let the doctor tell you you have to stay on that medication. Switch to something else. I have been on 8 total medications in 18 years, and fortunately the last 2 neurologists I had were very aggressive in their treatment. Again, they were both study doctors, so they knew the value of trying something new, and it's thanks to them that after 18 years I am still ambulatory. When I was first diagnosed, I was given a diagnosis of an aggressive form of MS, and I feel wholeheartedly that by staying on a disease-modifying therapy continuously for the last 18 years has kept me in the level of health that I'm in today. My uncle had MS, and when he was diagnosed in the 70s and up to just before he died, there were no treatment therapies. The only thing that they could give you for MS was steroids, and that was to knock the inflammation down and hopefully reduce the exacerbation. Currently, there are over 12. Right before he passed away, they had just came out with beta-seron, the first treatment for MS, and unfortunately he was to a level at that point that it wouldn't do him any good even if they did prescribe it for him. But now you can get on something immediately and stay on it. If it's not something that works, switch to something else. Continue to try it. Continue to look for something to keep the disease from going any further. Hope this has been informative for you. If so, hit the thumbs up button and come back, and hopefully I'll have some more information. If not for MS, maybe about a tractor, and hopefully one of those things you'll find interesting. Thanks again for stopping by Hemingway's Tractor.